Hello, my name is Rachel Huddart and I'm a Scientific Curator at PharmGKB. In this video, we're going to do a walkthrough of PharmGKB's guideline annotations. Before we begin, a quick note to say that our YouTube playlist of PharmGKB walkthroughs contains videos looking at other types of annotations on PharmGKB, as well as a walkthrough of the full site. This is the PharmGKB homepage. Clicking the Clinical Guideline Annotations button takes you to a table of our guideline annotations listed by drug. PharmGKB annotates clinical guidelines from the Clinical Pharmacogenetics Implementation Consortium, or CPIC, and the Dutch Pharmacogenetics Working Group, or DPWG. We also annotate guidelines from other organisations, including the Canadian Pharmacogenomics Network for Drug Safety and the French National Network of Pharmacogenetics, as we become aware of them in the literature. This graph shows how many guideline annotations we have from each source. The coloured portion of each bar shows how many annotations give clinical recommendations. We also assign tags to guideline annotations. If a guideline recommends selection of an alternate drug or a change in drug dosing for patients with certain genetic variants or phenotypes, we use the alternate drug or dosing info tags. We use the testing info tag to indicate guidelines which give specific information about pharmacogenomic testing in relation to the gene-drug pair covered by the guideline. Guidelines tagged as pediatric contain information about pharmacogenomics in pediatric patients and/or information about the applicability of the guideline to the pediatric population. You can use the eye icon to learn more about each tag. Some guidelines specifically give a no recommendation for a gene-drug pair. This means that changing a prescribing decision based on a patient's variant in the specified gene is not recommended. Guideline annotations covering a no recommendation are clearly shown in the table. The Clinical Guideline Annotations table can be filtered by source, tags, or drug. We're going to look at guideline annotations on tramadol to see some of the different features of our guideline annotations. You can see that we currently have 2 guideline annotations from CPIC and 1 from the DPWG. We'll start by looking at the CPIC guideline annotation on CYP2D6. If a guideline annotation has been tagged by PharmGKB curators, you'll see the tags displayed at the top of the annotation. All clinical guideline annotations begin with a short summary which outlines any recommendations in the guideline. Annotations of CPIC or DPWG guidelines with recommendation have this genotype selection tool where you can retrieve genotype-specific recommendations from the guideline. For example, if I enter the genotype *4*4, the tool recognizes this as a poor metabolizer genotype and displays the relevant implications and recommendation. All annotations on CPIC guidelines have video summaries which give background information on the genes and drugs covered by the guideline before going over the guideline recommendations. These videos are also available on the PharmGKB YouTube channel. The main annotation contains relevant excerpts from the guideline, links to additional materials, and any useful tables. The history section at the bottom of each annotation displays a log of changes that have been made to the annotation since it was created. Now we'll compare this with the DPWG guideline for tramadol. PharmGKB curates allele functions and phenotype assignments based on information from the DPWG. These assignments power the genotype selection tool on DPWG guideline annotations. While there are many similarities between how CPIC and the DPWG assign allele function and phenotypes, there are some important differences. This link will take you to a page which details DPWG's mappings and notes areas of difference with CPIC. You'll notice that this annotation has been tagged as having testing info. Any information from the guideline about pharmacogenomic testing can be found in the main annotation. Here we give an excerpt from the DPWG guideline, as well as a link to further information about testing information from the DPWG. Now we'll look at the CPIC no recommendation for tramadol and the genes OPRM1 and COMT. As in the guideline annotation table, the no recommendation label is prominently displayed at the top of the annotation. This makes users aware that there are no clinical recommendations available for using COMT or OPRM1 genotypes in opioid prescribing. Again, there is a short video which summarizes the background and rationale for the no recommendation. If you have any questions about the material covered in this video, please contact us at feedback@pharmgkb.org. Thank you.